let's go to. We don't have to talk too much about this one because I'd rather not talk about the drama of it. Obviously, I was personally pleased from the fact that Tory Lanez dropped an album.
Mhm.
Obviously, it was surrounded by, this whole storyline. Good guy, bad guy. Who is he?
Yeah.
This ambiguous nature to the story. Did he do it? Did he not? And when he just surprised with the album, I don't care where it comes from. I'm just glad that we're getting new content.
Mhm.
And I went through the entire album, and it's very lyrical. This is a testament, of an album. And
Mhm.
he just there's so much content. There's so many ideas and thoughts on this album, and that can sometimes take away from the music for me. You know what I mean? I feel like he had so much to say. And so you get a lot of these, you know, I feel like on every Drake album, there's that one song where he's just venting for 5 minutes. And where on this album, I feel like there are 7 or 8 tracks where Tory Lanez is doing that, where he's going on for 5 minutes and is purely lyrical. There are so many thoughts that the theme gets clouded, and I think that takes away from a good album. I think a good album is cohesive and it stays on point, stays on message throughout the album. This one, a little all over the place, but I did save a couple of songs. My favorite was The Most High. I think that's right up there with one of the hottest tracks of the year. Great video treatment for that. Very superstar type, very superstar-esque vibe that he gave off. And then I also saved one of his more, Tory Lanez is known for being able to balance that gritty rap with, his sing-songy R&B. And I saved Friends Become Strangers. And that was more of a, crooning type of song. But I appreciate that stuff from him too. Did you get? I know you were you were like, I'm not even listening to this. Did you ever listen to even The Most High?
Nah, dude, I stand by my word. You
Yeah.
can go back to the previous podcast. I hate Tory Lanez. I'm not a fan of the guy. I think he's a phenomenal, incredible, talented artist, but there are a lot of those out there. And there are a lot of phenomenal, great, talented artists that aren't shitty people. So I'd rather support them and give them my streams than Tory Lanez. So yeah, I honestly just have no
What
comment.
is the is there redemption down the road for Tory Lanez for you?
I think redemption would just be when people just forget about how bad of a person you are later down the road. I don't
But
even know
what
if it's
about for
something you
you?
do. I think
Is
it's
there
just like it's time
anything
heals all.
is there anything is it just time, or is there anything that he could do so that his next release you'll be like, I'm checking that out?
If he teamed up with Dax and like put him on the track and like augmented Dax's career as a way to make up for jumping him, then maybe. And then if for some reason Megan Thee Stallion like forgave him and they did music together and he was just chill with all the people he's victimized, and then yeah, I guess it's all good according to these people. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's a very slim chance that I could respect him as a person and an artist. Uh, right now, I'll still say the new Toronto, one of the best albums of the year. But the fact of the matter is, if I'm gonna go back and listen to an album, I could find other music besides the new Toronto. It's not like
Yeah.
he's the only good artist out there, the only one dropping good music. Fortunately, we've got a lot of people to choose from, so I'm just not gonna prioritize in terms of
Okay.
music. Yeah.
All right. I don't think anything more to say there. Like I said, I appreciated a few songs, and I'm glad that we got content. So, what else you got for us? I know you have a few more on your list, maybe.
Top shotter. And a leader top shotter. Dude,
The
that guy's
Dumb
energy
Dada. Let's go.
infectious. Infectious, dude. I listen to NLE Top Shotta when, man, I just want to snap. I'm just gonna go hard. Just work out stuff. Like it's
All
just
right.
so energetic. His music. It's just fun. I don't know. So listen to NLE Choppa is fun. I feel like he made dangerous music sound fun again. If that makes any kind of sense. Like
Okay.
I think one of the first music videos I saw of his was Shot of Flow like 3 or something, one of the Shot of Flows. And I was like, okay, cool. Didn't think too much of it. I was like, cool energy, but I'd seen some of that stuff before, kind of like similar music videos to what you see in like drill rap and stuff like that, just similar themes, nothing too creative. But then he teamed up with Lyrical Lemonade. What was that? Shot of Flow 4 or something?
For the
Um,
music video,
yeah, which one was
that was
that?
Shot of Flow 5.
Was it? Yeah,
Yeah.
Shot of Flow 5. Yeah, dude, that one was that I love that music video. It was so fun.
With his
We're like,
mom and everything.
yeah, with his mom in the video, and he's got like the toy soldiers or whatever. The fruits are going crazy and attacking him,
Yeah.
and he's just like shooting with his like paintball gun in his kitchen. He's quarantined, right? This came out 4 months ago, so he's just in his house. I don't know. I just thought it was one of the best music videos to come out around that time. Super happy that the two of them teamed up. They're both really talented. And like for I want to say like for a gangster rapper, he doesn't talk about like serious topics like some like gangster rappers have done, but he still is like super lyrical. I don't know. He was probably my favorite artist on Double XL's year list this year, and I'm like a
Okay.
big, huge fan of Jack Harlow and Mulatto as well. But NLE's got to be my favorite. His solo freestyle was definitely my favorite, where he looks so out of breath and he just looked like he put 120% into it,
Yeah.
and like I respect that
I
above
don't
all,
think that
man.
man owns a shirt.
He
No
should.
way he it's all you open up his closet, all pants. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
pants and jackets. That's all.
Pants and jackets. That dude does not own a shirt.
And much like Blueface, none of his belts are functional.
Yeah,
There's
they
no
just like
use for his
yeah.
belts. It's just saying. They're just
That's funny.
chilling. But yeah, Top Shotta. I mean, I could bring up the songs that I liked on it, but it was honestly like half the album. Like Top Shot is definitely an album like I could say I could listen to all the way through. It's a little bit long, but if you want to just hear I don't know, like a hype fest for a while, I would listen to Top Shot. It's got Camelot,
Yeah.
Murder Talk, Top Shot of Flow, Shot of Flow 3, Shot of Flow 5, Neighborhood Watch. They're all just hype, man. They're hype. I didn't like it. Actually, I mentioned serious stuff. He does have some serious stuff. I didn't like it. Honestly, if anything, I would take that off the album. I would just keep it like
Yeah.
hype. You know what I mean?
So I listened to the album. I want to go through it again because when I did it, I not because I didn't like any of the songs, but I didn't add anything to my playlist yet, right? I wanted to give it another listen to see which ones I truly wanted to save. But I will say this about him. Sometimes, and this is just a personal preference, I think he's awesome. I think he's a great, like you said, hype. You know what I mean? Just adds the hype. It's great energy. But I do think that his production is a little bright sometimes as
Right?
compared to guys who I think bring a similar type of energy when they rap. Dirk can do that sometimes. I think Lil Durk can do that sometimes. I think Polo G has done that on a few tracks. I think some of these guys who bring a lot of hype, they are on some darker production. I would like some darker production from NLE Choppa. That's just my
Like Polo
personal.
G type darker production. What kind of
Yeah,
darker
a little
production?
bit dark, a little bit like almost like in. But that's the thing, right? I have to remember that he's from the South, right?
Yeah,
So
Memphis, right?
I almost want him on some like 3-6 stuff. You know,
Oh, okay.
I want him on some 3-6 production. But I know that the South is a lot more like when I think of South, I think of like that Louisiana kind of, and yeah, Memphis kind of upbeat Block Boy JB kind of stuff,
Yeah.
where but I personally just tend to lean towards the more like that Chicago or even like sometimes it can be Atlanta with like Metro Boomin's kind of stuff. Uh, just a little
Yeah,
darker.
Metro Boomin collab would be pretty dope. I don't know
That
if
would
that's
be
happened yet, but
that
like an
would be
album,
pretty cool.
totally.
So yeah, but I like his stuff. He's definitely very representative of the South.
For sure.
Yeah, but I could see him on some, like I said, some 3-6 type of sounds. Would be cool.
Yeah.
So, all
I
right. I just want to touch upon my last album that I liked, and that was the Kid Leroy's. I think this isn't really so much rap. but he falls into that lane. You know what I mean? You know, there's
Hmm.
these sing-songy guys that just fall into this, category. They're just they're also, I mean, they're not really pop stars, you know. So yeah, I think he just, he didn't have a lot of features on this thing, and he can put together a song. You know, the songs I liked were Maybe, Not Fair, Go with Juice World, and Tell Me Why. He just can sing. I think he's super talented. Just looking forward to him putting out more music in the future.
Same. Yeah, I heard the album. Very powerful. Like I
When he
think you should be
yells, I love
mindful.
when he yell. Like it's like you could, yeah, he puts a lot of energy and emotion into some of his lines, you know.
Totally. Yeah. No, it's great
So,
hearing that from an artist.
and he's super young.
That very, very young. He looks like
Yeah,
it too.
yeah,
Uh very very emotional album. So I'd be like mindful of where you listen to it because it's just like I
yeah,
don't know. It'll take you out of whatever you're in, uh,
definitely.
wherever you're listening to it. And I don't even know what else to say about the album. Just like yeah,
Yeah,
heavy, heavy
I don't think
emotional.
there's. It's not really like something. Like I said, it's not really in the heart of rap. So I don't know if there's much to dissect into it.
I mean, I think
But
it's become a bigger part of rap in the past year. I
yeah,
want to say ever since Juice World blew up, like that's been a big thing. I guess XXX Tentacion did a bit more of this kind of like I know a lot of people call it like emo rap. And I think even people that are fans will classify it as like emo rap. But I mean, you know, Juice World had that whole collab album with Future, right? It just
yeah.
goes to show how
I don't know if
mainstream
you'll ever see that
sound
from the
went.
Kid Leroy though. It's like you're bending the lines. You're blurring the lines, I should say, between pop and rap. It's a very interesting category, you know. And some
How so?
guys, I feel like some guys have more of a foot in in the rap thing, like Lil Mozzie, right? Or
Lil
Mosey.
Mosey, yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Dude,
I
I
still
loved his
get,
album this year. I'm
I
still listening
still,
to that album.
it's still very sing-songy, like it's
My
almost
favorite.
pop, but
Yeah.
he keeps his foot in the rap, you know,
Yeah.
just
I mean,
because
it's
because the content,
right.
you know,
Right. The content, the delivery, the like the
the
sound. I know
production.
if you go on Spotify's like by his bio on Spotify, Lil Mosey's, it'll be like hailing from the West Coast, like Seattle. His album name, I think, relates to the fact that he's from the Northeast, right? Or the
Yeah,
Northwest, right? Northwest Best or something like that. But the description goes like, but having carrying the sound of Atlanta,
hmm,
Lil Mosey, whatever. So yeah, it's cool having that kind of a synthesis in the noise and
yeah,
at the same time being like something new that we feel like we've never heard before. I think Ian Dior is somebody that's blown up
yeah,
this year or it's gotten more recognition this year. I went through his more popular tracks on Spotify and I'd classify him in that same lane as like Juice World, Kid Leroy. Uh and I think it's a cool sound. It's a good
I think
cool
so too.
subject
Yeah,
matter
I'm not
for the right
discrediting
mood.
it at all. Yeah,
Yeah. North's Best. That was
North
the Lil
Best.
Mosey album.
Okay.
Which is funny because like the only other rapper I know from that region I want to say is Amine. Like I think Amine is from Oregon or something.
Yeah.
And
Oh
very
yeah,
different
yeah,
vibe. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so that's it for me for albums I really enjoyed. I think you may have one more.
I have a couple more, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Just
go
to
into it a
touch
little bit.
upon briefly. So I was just mentioning Amine, he dropped Limbo. I thought it was very good. Uh it's pretty serious. I want to say it's more serious than his previous work. A lot of his previous work is a little bit more like party like. But above all, I think what stands out to me about Amine is how smooth his music is. Like
Mm,
his delivery is very smooth. Like, you know, right? It's not the kind of super thought out Midwestern Detroit sound that you get from Big Sean. It's not the old school synthesized with newer production kind of sound you hear from Nas. It's just like a really classy kind of sound to it. I feel like that's the best way I can describe it in words. I think Riri was one of the big hits off of Limbo
what about the
video.
track with Thug?
That one I liked. Compensating. I was about to bring it up. That music video I thought was really nice. He's got like this weird like tennis theme. I guess with the album because he's got the tennis and then It's like a tennis ball looking thing on the cover of the album. Um, yeah, it's just like it's fun at the same time. This album isn't as fun as his previous albums, but he still got that good vibe to him, and it feels like this one is a little bit more focused on lyricism. Kind of like, I guess you could say, kind of like King's Disease and Detroit too.
Mhm.
I would say. I mean, this year altogether has been a little bit more serious, so it's understanding why that could have bled over into the music. But yeah, JID, you had a song with JID, and I was like, that's a perfect collab. I mean, and JID.
Yeah.
Uh, Young Thug did his thing. I didn't think it was like the best
Yeah.
verse on the album, but he did his thing. I loved hearing Vince Staples. I don't think Vince Staples releases enough music. I don't think he
No,
releases nearly enough music for how talented the guy is.
definitely not.
And like I heard Vince Staples' verse, and I was like, I wish it was longer. Like the guy's just so good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's an album I'll go back too much. I'd say his
That's
previous
how
stuff's
I
a little
felt
bit
about it.
better.
That's how
Yeah.
I felt. I put it as I didn't dislike it.
Hmm.
Right. That's pretty much how I ranked everything that I listened to this time around was either I liked it and I'll go back to it. I hated it. I'll never go back to it. Or I enjoyed it, but maybe I'll go back to maybe a song or two. Nothing
Got you.
nothing more than that. And this falls into that category
Okay.
for me.
Yeah, I want to say a lot of those. We've had a fair amount of those albums this
I'd
year.
say so too.
We got a
Yeah.
lot of okay albums.
We
I
got a
loved
lot of
Detroit
okay
too. I
albums.
loved Top Shotta. And for third place, I mean, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna say I gotta say No Pressure. It's gonna be hard. It's a hard between No Pressure and Queen of the South. And
Yeah.
it's weird bringing that up because it's like Logic. I mean, you can see my poster in the background.
Oh my
I'm
God.
a
Isn't that
huge
nuts?
Logic
I was
fan.
just about to say that. I was going to make that comment.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
comparing somebody who's, you know, a veteran in the game
Right.
and a unique veteran in the sense that by most of our favorite legendary rappers right now would be the middle of his career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably.
Legendary rappers, we've seen them still doing pretty well 20 years deep, right?
Exactly. And
I
so
mean,
now,
Logic's more like 10 years deep.
and so he should be at maybe like not the peak, but like he should still be solid. And then you're comparing it to somebody who's brand new. It's
Who just came out, yeah.
just
I mean,
came out,
it's
just came out.
literally just dropped, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're two different, totally different artists, totally different people. But it's hard for me to choose which one I want to put in my like third spot of albums I'll definitely be going back to. Because I know I'll
Yeah.
be going back to both, but it's hard to say which one more so. And yeah, so just to touch upon No Pressure, really well done album, but leaves you with an odd kind of aftertaste, I want to say. Like I
You're talking
walked
about No Pressure.
I'm talking about No Pressure. I
Yeah.
walked away from the album being like, man, like that's Logic's retirement. And it's just
Yeah.
like, I understand why he made it. I watched all his interviews with Hard Knock TV. I love Hard Knock TV. Nick Huff. I like hearing what Logic's thinking, what he's saying. I mean, I'm just a huge fan of the guy. I want to know what's going on in his life and why
Yeah.
he made why he made this music or compelled him to write these lyrics. But there were at least a couple songs on that album that are just like sad, man. It's just like
Yeah.
depressing. It's just like, dude, I understand why you want to walk away from the rap game. Like you've had enough, you've done all you need to do, and now you just want to live a normal life like a lot of superstars want to do. And we've seen so many artists beyond just rap either just not make it out the game or end it all because of how heavy the spotlight is. So
Yeah.
it's understandable that he's kind of done with it. And people have been saying like, oh, he's not actually going to retire. Pretty much every rap retirement has been like, you know, 3 albums short of the real retirement
Yeah.
at least. So I'd be happy to hear more Logic music. I think he himself said in an interview, like, sure there'll be more music, but this is like the conclusion to like the Logic saga. This is what would have been Ultra 85 that we talked about. I think around since when the Incredible True Story came out.
Hmm.
People have been looking to that kind of timeline. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, I was a huge fan of as well. It was like going back, I was like, that was a really solid album. No Pressure, I'm not really sure how to compare it to his previous works. One big thing he's been talking about is the fact that he had so few hooks on it, like 5 hooks. I guess that's a big theme of this episode of ours this year, is that like it's been a lot more focus on lyricism
Yeah.
this quarter. And I mean, people have had a lot of time to sit down and write this year
Definitely.
and reflect. Logic's one of my favorite lyricists, so it's really good hearing everything he had to say. But there are like, I would say only like a few songs that you would want to go back to and listen to. It felt more like a letter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So
Yeah, those are
I
those are tough. Yeah, those are tough, really tough. We mentioned that with the Tory Lanez album. We mentioned that with even maybe a tad bit of the Detroit 2 album. It does get, he actually, no, I won't even put that in that same lane. But yeah, when you start putting too much, you know, of these varying thoughts, when you start putting too much into an album, sometimes it loses its message,
Sonic appeal.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's it's a lot. It's definitely, it
it's a lot
requires
to
a lot of
digest. Yeah.
digestion. So
Yeah.
speaking of digestion, one of the first songs I saved was Soul Food 2. Soul Food was a great track from Under Pressure. He had a lot of like callbacks to Under Pressure. He had like a couple lines that he started just like he did on Under Pressure, but he kind of switched it up. Um, I think it was Soul Food 2, if not one of the other ones, so where you can hear the callback to the original beat, and he's like rapping over like a remix almost to the beat. He's got some cool like lo-fi sound to his
Yeah.
stuff. Like you can hear a lot of the what do you call it? Young Sinatra, a little bit of the Young Sinatra vibes on this album, but also like the Confessions of a Dangerous Mind type. I don't know what to call that. Not a trap sound, but like a fun Bobby Tarantino almost kind of sound.
Yeah.
Perfect. Definitely was one of my favorite like fun songs on the album. Dad Bod, I like the music video. This is the one that got the music video. Very direct, very straight to the point, where he's basically saying like, listen, I've done what I wanted to do. I accomplished what I wanted to do in my rap career. And now what I want to do is be a dad, raise a family, have a wife and a kid. Like,
Yeah.
just that's
You
what it
can't
is.
hate, you can't fault him for that.
You
Yeah.
can't fault him for that. He's like, if you want to hear my old stuff, then listen to it. But this is what I am now. And I thought it was just funny. Like the line where he's like, then a chick passed me with a fat ass, but all I want to know is, does Hefty hold the most trash or something like that? He's just like, yo, I'm like a full grown adult now, so like,
Yeah.
do your young man shit, but I'm over here like just being a
Yeah.
grown ass man. So props to him. He's probably in a better headspace now than before.
Sure.
Um, 5 hooks, super more like super serious stuff. So yeah, I don't know. He collabed with No ID, and they've been long time friends, I guess, like collaborators. So I think it was hard for this album to be bad. It's just how much time and experience he has to draw upon, and how naturally talented he is. But I wouldn't call it a disappointment. It's just I don't know how much I'll be going back to the album
Yeah.
to sum it all up.
All right. I feel you there. Yeah, I mirror a lot of that, so I don't want to repeat. I'm sort of just in the same lane as you, as far as, yeah, I appreciate, I have a certain favorite era of Logic, from his mixtapes pretty much up until, Under Pressure, like around there. So that's my favorite era of Logic. But yeah, it's an interesting culmination to his career. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll go back to it so much, but just appreciate him in general. I won't be negative about it.
No
So.
doubt.